Yes, you heard right. I took a high-end mobile phone to the Shanghai Zoo and captured these images. The layers of feathers and the transitions between colors in this Bengal parrot you see now are crystal clear, even the highlights in its eyes. When I first exported these images, I was a little dazed because all of this was actually taken with a mobile phone.
A quick shout to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out our exciting tech content. Now let's dive into the unboxing.
What's even more incredible is that there were a group of experienced photographers with long lenses standing around me. Their expressions when they saw my device that could capture birds so clearly and intimately were truly priceless. This phone got an absurd number of stares at the zoo. It's the Vivo X300 Ultra. At this price point, everyone knows where the extra money goes. Performance, screen, battery life, smoothness, these are all things that the Ultra doesn't lack. What truly sets it apart from ordinary flagship phones is its imaging capabilities. So in this episode, I don't want to start with benchmark scores because the most interesting thing about the X300 Ultra is its lens. Hello everyone, I feel like this is a camera that can make phone calls. I've taken many sample photos with it recently. I also used it as a shooting device to interview Mr. Zhang Fei and Mr. Li Zhu from Vivo. It gives you a strong creative desire. You can't help but want to shoot more and see how far it can go. Since we're at the zoo today, let's start with the most amazing part. What I'm most excited about with the X300 Ultra is the newly launched 400mm equivalent teleconverter. When I'm shooting birds at the zoo, it's really easy to get addicted, because many times when you look at a bird with the naked eye, you can only tell that it's a bird, but when you attach this lens, the scene is immediately brought to life. Feathers, eyes, movements, everything can be captured. I've never actually used a telephoto lens before, mainly because I can't afford one. I never thought that I could use a mobile phone to shoot those scenes that I could only see in movie and TV show footage libraries. This gives me a strong sense of accomplishment and detail. I spent the whole day shooting animals. If this video gets over 1 million views, when I go to university, I'll take everyone to the African savannah to shoot animals. With the support of this 2-inch CMOS sensor, the highest equivalent is 8100mm. This number already sounds a bit outrageous. A few days ago in Bow Wow, I set it up on the hotel balcony to observe the distance. Look at this photo. This is what I saw with my naked eye. Can you find a lighthouse in it? That's right, it's that tiny white dot. Below 8100mm, you can spot it. It can capture things that are completely invisible to the naked eye, but this focal length is really extreme. Even the airflow can affect the image. There are also many fishing boats that look like dots to the naked eye, but once they enter the frame, you can clearly see the fishermen on them. The feeling is particularly magical, like you suddenly have a pair of eyes that can see very far. Your previous understanding of mobile phone telephoto lenses might have been limited to capturing things that are visible to the naked eye in a clear image, but the X300 Ultra made me feel that it has truly brought a unique kind of fun to telephoto photography. I'm a very adventurous person, and I was standing on the balcony observing the world like I had a God's eye view, and I realized that there are so many interesting people and animals in places I can't see with my naked eye. That feeling was truly amazing and incredibly impressive. I never expected that this phone could capture such a picture. It's unbelievable. Of course, it also has some minor flaws. For example, the rear camera at first glance looks like a quad camera setup, but actually that thing in the upper left corner is a side light wing, not a lens. Personally, I feel that although it does achieve symmetry, it's still a bit too flashy. Having talked about the 400mm lens that I was most excited about at the zoo, let's shift our focus back to portraits and street photography, which are used more frequently in daily life. I personally really like the focal length configuration of the X300 Ultra, 14mm ultra wide angle, 35mm for street photography and timekeeping, and 85mm for telephoto. These three focal lengths are classic, especially 35mm and 85mm, which are very attractive to users who like to shoot people. I want to focus on the 35mm lens. When I was in the first year of junior high school, I used my phone's 24mm main camera to shoot videos. I didn't really like it because it was a bit too wide, and the background wasn't blurred when shooting A-roll. The 35mm focal length is much more friendly for shooting people and products. Compared to the traditional 24mm, you can maintain a more natural distance between yourself and the subject, and the image looks closer to our everyday perspective. Plus, it naturally has a shallower depth of field, so the subject stands out more easily from the background, and the whole image has a more camera-like feeling. Of course, the drawback is, when you happen to need to shoot landscapes or cars with a 24mm, the image resolution of an ultra-wide-angle lens is definitely not as good as the native 24mm. In Shanghai, I took many photos of my classmates with this 35mm lens in Bao'ao. Girls are very sensitive to portrait photos. They can spot even slight skin tone discrepancies or artificial textures at a glance. But the Vivo X300 Ultra's portraits produced really pleasing skin tones. There wasn't a heavy beautification effect or a noticeable plastic look. Instead, it was a natural, rosy, and very pleasing direction, especially in comfortable lighting. The layers on the face, the transition of the background blur, and the overall atmosphere of the image were very close to the feeling a camera would give. They all liked the photos after receiving them. I also really liked its unboxing mode. It's not just a simple filter, I think it has a bit of a film theme. The grain, color tone, and the overall atmosphere are more natural than I expected. It doesn't make you feel like it's an artificially aged photo, but rather adds a touch of emotion to the image. And one thing I really like about the 85mm lens, the 2-pixel telephoto lens, is its short focusing distance, which allows for macro photography. I personally really like macro photography. I've used it before to photograph my pet turtle and some flowers and plants. This time, I even took a risk to use it to photograph bees. The fuzz on the bees' bodies and the textures on their wings were truly stunning. You can see both distant and close-up details, and the images are incredibly detailed. This kind of experience, being able to do both on a single phone, is really amazing. I feel like this is a phone that can show me the world, taking care of both the macro and micro perspectives. The close-up photos surprised me. And the video performance was also quite satisfactory. As mentioned earlier, during the interview with Bornas, I made a very bold decision. I didn't bring a traditional large camera. Instead, I used X300 Ultra cameras as shooting equipment to complete the entire interview with Mr. Zhang Fei of Vivo and Mr. Li Zhu of Vivo Imaging. The interview lasted for more than 2 hours, and it was in 4K 60 resolution, so the intensity wasn't low. Before shooting, I was always worried about it overheating, but the phone's performance was more stable than I expected. This time, the official team collaborated with SmallRig to create a custom image, plus a heatsink, and once everything was installed, the stability improved even more. During the long recording session, I didn't falter at crucial moments. For this kind of instant creative work, stability is paramount. Even more impressive is the generous video specifications it offers this time. Full-range 4K 120p support, 10-bit lock, and Dolby Vision support. Many features previously unavailable in telephoto zoom modes are now available. When shooting video, it's not just about having a telephoto lens to see far. There's also ample room for post-processing. For those who regularly edit, color grade, and create complete workflows, this freedom is crucial. You can clearly feel that the X300's creative capabilities are truly geared towards a more professional direction. I also really like its cinematic mode. It doesn't just use a 2.35:1 aspect ratio, it incorporates technological elements, adjusting the width, frame rate, color, etc. Shooting casual cityscapes or portrait shots easily produces a great feel. Of course, in my own experience, I still have a slight tendency to be a little greedy. For example, in some scenes, its video lacks the smoother transitions of traditional optical lenses. Also, its current professional mode, although it already offers a high degree of freedom, I still think it would be even better if there was a fully open shooting mode in the future, or even the ability to shoot compressed RAW. Criticisms aside, when we look back at the previous products, you'll find that Vivo truly listens to user feedback and has made many tangible improvements. This was particularly evident during my interview with Vivo's imaging expert, Mr. Li Ru. I initially thought he might be a little intimidated, but as soon as you talk to him about the specific details of lens shooting, he immediately opens up, his eyes shining as he speaks eloquently, sharing a lot of their insights from user research. As a photographer by training, he naturally understands what users want. After the interview, he even added me and my classmate on WeChat, telling us that we could send him any usage questions or suggestions directly to him. This detail particularly touched me, because you'll find that behind a truly good product, there's often a group of people who truly understand photography and user needs. They know what problems photographers encounter when shooting outdoors. They know what pain points video creators face during creation, and they know what kind of aspect ratio and texture people want when shooting portraits. So if you ask me whether spending so much money on a phone with such a huge camera module is worth it, and if your daily needs are just chatting, scanning QR codes, and watching videos, then you probably won't use much of the image processing investment. But if you also enjoy photography, like to carry your device around to record things, and don't want to spend extra money on a camera, the Vivo X300 Ultra will give you a very unique experience. To put it bluntly, at this price point, you could simply buy a telephoto lens or a camera specifically designed for telephoto with mediocre image quality. But Vivo gives you better image quality, a body that fits in your pocket, and the features a flagship phone should have. Normally, it's a flagship phone with a top-notch experience. If you want to shoot video, it instantly becomes a professional video camera. If you want to see distant scenery, attach a telephoto lens, and it becomes a powerful camera. When I first got this phone, I was truly amazed because it's exactly the kind of highly streamlined phone I've always dreamed of. So that's my subjective experience with the Vivo X300 Ultra. Feel free to discuss it in the comments section. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That's all for this video. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.